Hey guys, and welcome back to more World of Guns Gun Disassembly. Today we're doing the Mauser 98K, the Star German World War II rifle, staple of the war. I'll show you guys the model information, which I promised to do. So here's some pictures of it. It feeds from the top. You feed rounds in these stripper clips. So show you some. If you want, again, you can read the information. It's pretty much just wiki information. It's a pretty good rifle. There you see a barrette. I can't speak right now. Anyway, and then the specifications you can see here. So mostly it shows you all the wars it was in service. But since it's a bolt action, the field strip is relatively simple here. So pull out the floor plate, pull off the bolt group assembly, and then pull off the bolt sleeve. Okay, you're complete. That's your full field strip. Really simple. That's why it's got its famous. Simple design, elegant construction. A very nice rifle. Just it couldn't rattle off. It was only it's bolt action, so it's the M1 Grand and other semi-automatic weapons fired a lot more, but the Mauser was much more accurate, and hitting shots at range with the Mauser was much easier than with a Grand. So, but again, we like to do our stuff like we do our field strip. Start with the floor plate. Move your bolt group assembly. Bolt sleeve. There's the extractor there. Extractor collar. Okay. Now we wanna. Okay. Should I pull it for the back? Yeah. Pull the cocking piece off. My camera's been really bad right now. Okay. Again, click it there. Bolt sleeve catch. And then the safety. Okay. So pull out the lock screw. And then you can't reach it. There's a second lock screw there. You pull out your front guard screw. Oh, is there another guard screw? Okay, there's another guard screw there. Trigger guard. And then there's a floor plate catch assembly. Okay, move to the back of the gun. Pull out the two butt screws. Then they'll move on the butt plate. Okay. This gun doesn't allow you to move from the back to the front very easily, which is kind of like usually what I like to do. But we'll do it this way. So front band, spring assembly, lower band, handguard. Pull the whole receiver out, a lot like the M1 Grand. Looks like there's a pin here that you have to push through. Bayonet stud pin, bayonet stud. So these don't come out at all. So that's solid in the weapon. Okay, good to know. So we'll move the sear spring, trigger. Okay, butt stop screw, bolt stop. Looks like there's another piece of the bolt stop. Oh yeah, the ejector. That makes a lot of sense. Bolt stop cover, ejector spring. Bolt the barrel, leaf. Rear sight base, and the rear sight spring, sight slider, and then the button. Perfect. That's a pretty easy disassembly, actually. How many people completed 204? Doesn't look like there's too much competition for this weapon. I just wanted a quick look. I hadn't looked yet, so. Anyway, let's put it together. Again, always the way that which we did it before. Slight slider. We'll put back in our spring. Our rear sight base. Rear sight leaf. Barrel. Okay. Ejector spring. Bolt stop cover. Ejector. Bolt stop. Stop screw. Trigger. Sear spring. Sear. I don't think there's much else we really took off there. Yep. See if it goes back on. Bayonet stud. Okay, bayonet stud pin. Oh. Oh, yeah, handguard, obviously. Then the lower band. Front and lower band spring. And front band. Okay. No. Okay, well, firing pin goes back in, obviously. So it's both sleeve cover. Followed by the safety. And the caulking piece. Okay, floor plate catch assembly. And I think the whole trigger guard would go back on. These two big screws. Front guard screws. And the lock screws. Okay. Then what? Okay, both sleeve goes in there. Extractor collar. Extractor. Butt plate. Butt screw. Butt screw 1. Put the bolt loop assembly back in. And we just gotta put in the floor plate. So yeah, definitely it was surprisingly easy to take apart that whole gun, so I'm really impressed. It's really interesting. Hop into the operation here. Okay, so it's single bolt fire, so you have to cock the bolt every time. And we'll hop that into slow. We'll assign the X-ray 1, watch the trigger, leave it hit up to 10. Trigger depressed, which will just see, this is why bolt actions are so accurate. Okay. Ooh. Look how this lies. Right there, as soon as the trigger is pulled, it just drops and that bolt pin comes straight forward. And then on this gun, it's cocked as you go back. I think, oh, we'll double check here. So it goes forward. And yeah, it's cocked as you pull back. So you cock it, it's cocked right there. The grand is cocked here when you push forward. Well, you don't really see it, but it's cocked on the forward motion, where the Mauser is cocked on the back motion. So, depending on which motion you like. Some people said the Mauser is better. Some people said the, I won't even go. So yeah, it's just very... Just very slight movement you can see in there. Very, very slight. Watch it one more time, then we'll be good. So, trigger pull, it just drops. Pulled, and it just drops and just goes straight forward. Hits the center fire, and it's just gone. But again, if you need to fire shots in rapid succession, not as good, but that's what the gun's for. Plus, every time you shoot, I'll cut off up right here so I can show you. Every time you shoot, so you're looking down your sights, even we can pull up the rear sight. We're shooting here. Every time you shoot, you have to take your sights off. You can't cock this. So you're almost like this, cock, and you have to get back down the sights. So it's not really made for making rapid fire sights. It almost, you gotta think of it that way. Where you're looking and you gotta cock and take your eye off the sights, so. Unload the same as the other ones. So the other thing, safety I think is right here. So it's a different safety than most guns. Scope just mounts through pins here. So then you have your scope, which I'll show you something. Let's see if they actually showed here. Yeah, see when you load with the scope in, you can't load with the stripper clip. You have to load each round individually. I'm glad they left that in. And then the bayonet comes on the front like that, so. We left our... You actually probably wouldn't want to do this. That's kind of an odd thing they did actually. So if you look, our rear sight is up. You wouldn't want to leave your rear sight up. You don't want to have your rear sight depressed. So more like that. Like obviously, normally you could just push it down, but first, just because that's the game. But yeah, you never want to leave your sight up, especially if it's fully, because it would obviously block the scope. So that's kind of an odd thing they decided to do. So anyway, thanks guys for coming out for more World of Guns Gun Assembly for the Mauser 98K. And we'll be back in the next one for more. Thanks guys. Later.